Árnason. Albeit skorar. Albert Gunnarsson hefur skorað. Ragnar Bergjesson og skoðamark. Glæsilega gert. Óskar Rafn á móti Bjarna. Og Bjarni með góða sendingu fyrir og það aftur Ingvarsson.
And welcome back to the best pod ever. Oh, I get to say it because
ever.
Because today I'm only joined by
Tryggvi.
And I am Ragnar as per usual. And we are here Jamie-less, Joe-less, neither one of our J's, but we'll make up for it, we promise. I guess we dive right in, or what?
Yeah, I was trying to come up with some sort of J thing, but yeah, it's not coming.
Something about jaywalking? That's all I can think of. Either that or Jay Leno, but I don't see a joke there. Let's start how we start, and we do start with predictions, and we had guest predictions. It would have been my turn, no? I feel like I would have gotten loads right here, so we should give me some of his points probably. But let's see. Let's get the Joe Invitational going. See if he can catch up in one round. We're all sitting pretty on 33. Can that be true?
According to question, but you have a game in hand, so it's.
I do.
Yeah, it's not great, but we had a chance to catch up, but it didn't really. I mean, technically we caught up, but it's not going to last for long, I guess.
We'll see. You get 5 for a correct score, right? So in theory, he can hit 30 here and be very close. So let's see how he did. His prediction for Thor Keflavik, he went Thor 0, Keflavik 2, which is in fact what happened. So off to a flying start there. Then we move on to Kawat Breiðablik. He predicted 3-3, and he continues to be correct. Oh, so that's 10 points from the first 2. He's going to catch up, honestly.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
FH Vikingur, he let his bias show there. I think he went 1-1.
Yeah, that was never going to happen.
Never going to happen. It ended 2-4. Sorry, Joe, but get out of here. IPVAF IA. He said 1-2, and it was 1-3. So 3-1 to IA. God, he was close there.
Yeah, not the last time he was close.
Valur Kawa, he gave Valur a little too much credit, said 3-1, it ended 4-4.
I think that's maybe the most off he was. I think even more off than FH Vikingur.
Yeah. And then Framstjarnan, he said 3-2, and it was 3-1. So 2 correct results, 2 correct scores. Is that how it goes? Are the terms? So for 14 points, 14 in one round is a new record this season. It beats my 13.
Came, he saw it, conquered.
Yeah,
it was Jesus. So close to getting 20 points.
That would have been insane. Well, thank you for playing. Let's see if we... I mean, if he wants to predict the next couple of rounds, see if he can catch up. If he can catch up over the rounds that remain, then that's impressive.
Maybe we give you a chance to close out the... sort of equalize the scores and then give him 2 games to catch up.
Yeah, we can consider that. Let's see how I do. Then just before we start, Vikingur go crashing out of Europa League and are going to play in the Conference League. God, you just get to roll the dice again and again, don't you, when you're part of the halves. And Valur even more so going crashing out, losing 7-0 on aggregate to FC Nordsjælland in Denmark.
Yeah, Vikingur were closer. I think quite a good performance in the second leg, but yeah, not the first leg set them back a bit too much, and then it was a bit too. But yeah, very impressive from them to even be in that tie towards the end.
Yeah.
Valur never really in that tie. I think there's a reason why Felix Graham is the guy that everyone talks about after that game. It's he was one of the very few Valor players to come out with increased stock, as they say.
Well, he tried his best to sort of offset that a little bit. If we wanted to, do we want to do this in random order or any other? Let's just do Valor right off because we're talking about them. He did okay in this game, but for the second goal, wasn't it? For the second goal, he really should have saved it.
He should have saved it, and then he came out
sort of created it.
Yeah, that wasn't good. There was a worse one, wasn't it? I think it was Ares. Yeah, Ibivaf one. That was maybe worse. I don't know. Maybe this was worse.
I think they were quite similar.
But it's more like
ability.
I think this Ares was more like he should have saved it, and he kind of got there. He just, I don't know, forgot to push it away. Like this one, it felt like he just didn't care. He just sort of dropped on the ball, and the ball went under him, and he was like, "Whoopsie."
Yeah,
but
he got complacent after a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kawa with a flying start there, scoring 2, and looked like. I mean, watching that, it looked like Kawa might just win that game the way things were going. Valor weren't looking great. The defense wasn't looking great, but then, I mean, Valor get their first goal from, was it a corner or a cross? I just remember what sort of happened in that, like, the ball swings in and the defender sees it coming and sees the man that's sort of going to get it, and instead of doing what he should and attacking that ball, he kind of goes, the wrong side of the attacker and kind of just like, and then complains. Instead of just going, getting in front of him and going for the ball. I thought it was a little bit and sort of let Valur into the game, unfortunately. Then they really gift him a sort of opening back into the game, which is something we also see in the FO game. But, I mean, it was like a limp little cross that just makes it through the entire box. I mean, Patrick Pedersen has a great sort of striker's positioning there, but I mean, God.
Yeah, I was first I thought it was the keeper's fault because it just goes across his goal and he doesn't do anything. But and then you sort of see it's too far away from him and it's just nothing.
I mean, there's defenders that could have gotten to it. There's at least one, if memory serves, who could have put a left foot to it and just gotten the ball out of there. But no, just better let it dribble across goal.
Well, at least they learned their lesson.
Why?
Because they conceded the exact same goal a few minutes later.
Was it the exact same goal?
It was. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it was pretty much the exact. It was sort of a cross that went across the goal, and then wasn't it Patrick again?
It was Patrick again, but it was a little bit different because he comes sort of Erling Haalanding in.
Yeah, his movement is a bit, but like the cross was essentially the same.
Yeah, but it was
wrong.
Off the ground. But either way, I thought it was. I think you have to pick him up there, Patrick, and you have to do better as a defense there. But I mean, he does come bouldering in and just sort of makes the goal there, and it's why he's good. But yeah, I think both of these goals, anyway, are. I mean, all 3 of these goals so far for Valur, I feel like Kawa's defense could have done better for. And you can say that for so many goals, but when you can say it for 3 in a row, then surely they could have done better for one of them.
Yeah, and then Valur were just like, okay, we're 3-1 up. But no, what was they were 3-1 up? Yeah, 3-3. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, both. Yeah, Jakob Snij's second goal. Yes, I've completely forgot about that goal. Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned it. We're good now.
Yeah, we're good. It's 3-3.
Kawa's third though was again, maybe could have been picked up a little bit better, but he controls it crazy good in the box. It's like a hard pass to him that he controls well and finishes well. But I mean, that's just a goal.
The 4-3, I think, unless I'm messing everything up, I think 4-3-1 is insane because it starts as kind of it's on the left wing and nobody really has any sort of control and there's no real danger. And they let them cross to the far post, where again there's still not enough danger because you're crossing to Hallgrímur, who's very good, but he's also not the tallest. and there's the defender like in his face, but he just doesn't seem to have any. He isn't bothered by him in the slightest. Like he just lines up the shot and hits it amazingly well, scores past Frederick. The defender is in no way involved in this equation.
No, which is weird because I watched it back a couple times, and the ball takes a little deflection on the cross from Diego, which sort of excuses the fact that it makes it there, I think. But the defender sees this happening. He sees where the ball is, he sees where Hallgrímur is, and he sees the ball drop, and he's ready to go as a defender. And instead of doing anything about it, he decides to do this pathetic little flinch.
Yeah, it's almost like he's waiting for Hallgrímur to take the ball down, so then they can tussle for it or something. I don't know. It's a very Valur. I feel like Valur's defending this season is just like stand off, let them shoot, and let Frederick save it. Or I don't know. That's the most generous I can be towards their defending. Like it's maybe they have like a fine box for getting yellow cards or something, so they don't want to touch the attackers.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't expect this like rocket of a finish, but you should.
Yeah, from him, there's like 3 people in the whole defense, the whole league that you don't want to allow to shoot, and this is one of them.
The sort of ball that you can, because it's quite a loopy, like it goes up quite high and drops nicely for him. So like if you're ever gonna bang home a cross, it's this from so close that you can't miss if you hit it well. So. Yeah, it's lazy. I mean, I feel a lot of Valur's. I mean, Kawa were good and they were brave in this. And watching it, you think like, okay, they should be doing maybe a little bit better overall if this is what they have in them. But I think Valur were, lazy and maybe a bit arrogant like they always have been. But I think for Valur's 4th, it was like a mixture of those two arrogances, because they wanted a penalty, which I don't think was a penalty at all. And they kind of whine about it. But then Lucas Loye gets the ball and he just does what you're supposed to do. And instead of being a little baby about it, he just takes the ball and decides like, okay, fine, then I'll just bring it into the box come hell or high water. And then dinks it to the left to Tigre, who just scores. Like it's the first bit of heart you see from Valur like all season.
They have, because they have the quality up front, and like you said, sometimes they just don't show it, and especially when there's a bit of hardship. But I mean, these players can do it. Lucas Loye, Tryggvi, Patrick, and now that he's back and fit, Jonathan Inge, like I know he's been injured as well, but like they have insane forward players, and it's just they just don't show it. But great goal. Yeah,
it was a good goal. I feel for Kawa most of all watching this, because you see them languishing. They're in 11th on 16 points, and like they did fight in this game. And for their form to be last 5 to be 3 draws and 2 losses, and they're looking like relegation. I don't know. Maybe if they can keep playing like this, maybe they can pull themselves up. But Valur, on the other hand, they're not gonna push up into the top half if they keep being like this.
No, and I mean it is 7 points to Kawa, so in theory they shouldn't be in danger. But yeah, they drop into the bottom half, and I mean, like you said, it's not like they've shown a lot of fight this season. So drop into the bottom half, have maybe 1 or 2 draws or something, and Kawa picks up, starts picking up some points. It's not like crazy to think that they're going to be caught in something, but
no.
But yeah, they have a few games now to get themselves into the top half if they can.
Let's see. They're going to have to fight. Oh, it's a great segue. They're going to have to sort of duke it out with Keflavik. God damn it. For that for that top half spot. And the question I have after watching this is, how are Thor good sometimes? If this is how they're going to play at other times.
It's but Keflavik are also very good sometimes, and then Thor I don't really understand Thor. It's a very strange team. I don't understand how you can kind of see why Keflavik has beaten Kauer and gotten results against some of the big boys. You don't understand how Thor does it.
No, not at all. Seeing Keflavik playing this, you do. I mean, Eiður Orri was great for his contributions. I mean, the first goal is amazing.
Yeah,
it's just the cleanest little strike. It's beautiful. And then there towards the end, his second, it's just a textbook counter with a great finish. So that was like a real good attacking performance from him. And then you see them on the ball and how they are, and they're actually, I hate to say it, they're not bad.
No,
but
they're
Thode,
not.
like, God.
Yeah, and this is after they strengthened, and I don't know. I mean, they have Stjarnan Ibivaf away and then FH at home. There is a chance of something there.
Yeah.
But equally, they could also go with 0 points. Like, it's very strange. Like, there's definitely a world where they go into this relegation fight in September with the exact amount of points they have now.
Yeah.
And then I think they're screwed.
Yeah, absolutely. Just I don't even know what to say. Like, it just seems to be fully random how they perform. Like, they're either trash or somehow they beat the big boys. I don't know.
No, because you kind of see what after I think last year, like, they weren't the greatest, but they had like the home fans and a little bit of passion, and that took them a little bit extra, like this sort of fight that brought them, and they had about one or two like quite good players that pushed them over the line. But Thode, you don't really, I don't know, sometimes you see it, and then sometimes you just have no idea how they're even in this league. Because they don't have their squad isn't that bad. Like, they strengthened quite a lot over the winter and the summer. Yeah.
Well, they're gonna have to start gelling if they wanna start catching up. I guess we can. I mean, let's jump to FH because they're also sort of down there, and we've talked about Kawa. FH, we're playing Víkingur, which is always going to be a tough order. But Víkingur's form before that wasn't great.
No.
I mean, they don't look so great right off the bat, Víkingur. I mean, it's sort of poor communication from their defense for FH's first goal. And I felt in this game that they didn't look like champions defensively. They made up for it with a bunch of goals.
Yeah. But
it wasn't always super convincing defensively from them. But then again, I mean, FH, but you expected more from FH. For Víkingur's first goal, you had like two FH defenders just sort of on top of each other for the cross, and one of them should have picked up the loose man, and the other one should have gone for the ball. They should have talked to each other a little more, but they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think their defending was particularly good this game. I think they've been quite solid lately and much better than before. I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, although they kind of feel like bees just swarming around the attacker.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The first goal didn't look good. The Gylfi goal, I thought, was horrible. Like, it's a great run from him. There needs to be someone in that team that sees a Gylfi Sigurðsson running from halfway line into space.
Yeah.
And either follow him or like just abandon ship and just go and get him. Like,
this is exactly what I thought when I saw it, because it's Sverrir Páll Hjaltestad who's tracking Gylfi. There, I saw it and I was just like, okay, so either he's unbelievably slow as a person, and then I googled to check how old he is, and he's 26, so his legs aren't gone.
10 years younger than Gylfi.
Yeah, he's got 10 years on Gylfi. Surely you've got a little bit more on the burner there. So then the other option is that he didn't really think that Gylfi Sigurðsson in the box for a cutback would be very dangerous, which is probably not true.
It might not be true, no.
So yeah, I thought that was terrible. I thought it was very bad. He should have picked up Gylfi there, specifically him, because he was on him before Gylfi decides to run in for this. So yeah, it was a very, very costly mistake. Víkingur's third is offside then, I think. Am I wrong? It's tight, but I'm pretty sure he is offside. I don't remember who it is, but they bring the ball in from the edge of the box ish, kind of hard, and there's a Víkingur player who, from what I can see, is offside, and it takes a deflection off him in front of goal, and they slot it home.
Yeah,
it was the Gunnar Vatnamar goal, yeah. And I don't remember who it is who's offside, but I'm pretty sure he is offside. And then it's funny for Gunnar to be the one to finish, but
yeah, he was also very free, like.
Yeah, he was for sure.
But yeah, I don't remember. I didn't quite spot that it was offside or not. But yeah, it just seemed again a little bit of a chaos in the box. And then yes, Gunnar Vatnamar is not the striker you need to spot. You need to keep your eye on. But like still, when Gunnar Vatnamar is in the box, he can probably hit the ball somewhere. So you should have someone close to him.
Yeah, then there's the goal that I'm talking. Maybe you were right before about the cross in the Valur game, because this is the cross that I was thinking of. The FH's second goal. This is the dribbliest of crosses, the stupidest bullshit I've ever seen. The ball comes out, he gets it there at the corner of the box, and he just sort of like, no power in it at all, puts it in, and it goes past everyone. The entire nation of Iceland has an opportunity to stop the ball from going there. Víkingur's defender, Nikolai Hansen is there. I think it's him, and he has the opportunity to put his foot through it and get it away, and he just sort of decides that that's not necessary. But this is just this. He makes like a move. He puts his arms out as if he's like, "Oh, clear!" Like it's going wide or something. But you're like in the middle of the box. There's two strikers behind you.
Yeah, no, but I feel like that's been quite a Víkingur goal to concede this season. Like I feel like this has happened 3 or 4 times where they've just completely missed the ball. There's miscommunication, and it's been from one of the big boys, Oliver or Gunnar or these sort of guys that should know better and should have better communication. And I don't know if it's them getting older or if it's them just being complacent and thinking like, oh, this is so easy, which I guess it is for them sometimes. But they've been conceding a lot of these goals lately, and it's hard to know if this will get worse now that Gunnar's leaving, or maybe this is all Gunnar's fault and they'll be great at defending again. Sure. I assume is not true, but yeah.
But I mean, if Víkingur want to hold on here, and I mean they are 8 points ahead of KR and Fram, and 18 ahead of Breiðablik. But they're starting to be a bit shaky.
Yeah,
and you can see a world where, like, if the offside had been called for their goal, which I think it was offside, but it was tight anyway. And from the FH were a little bit tighter at the back, and maybe finished the way that they did anyway, then they could have lost this game, or drew it and dropped some points at the least. So, and this is against FOs in 10th. Like, I don't know. They started off incredibly well, and I guess they're keeping it up. Their form is fine, but they're not as absurdly convincing as we maybe thought they would be.
I think the major test for them is against obviously Valur next week. But I guess the real test for them is KR Víkingur. Like, if KR can actually get a result there, and it needs to be a win for KR, then, because then at that point they play Fram to finish off the regular season, and then they go into the upper half where again they have to play KR, Fram, Breiðablik, and as it looks now, EA Keflavik. Like, these are all teams that will be coming for them. Fram, KR. If there's a little bit of blood in the water, this could get interesting. But KR need to beat them.
They do. And speaking of KR Breiðablik ended 3-3.
Obviously, as according to Joe, it was
according
obvious.
To Joe. Breiðablik will feel like they fucked this one up.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we don't like throwing shade, but Hrafn Thomas for KR, I think it was him, right? Like, he has to come out to cover in the first goal. So that's annoying, but that's just typical KR defensive frailty. We've learned to accept it. And then Breiðablik's number 2, I mean, it's a great free kick.
Yeah, there's maybe something about positioning of the wall.
Yeah, I mean, if you can curl it like that around the wall and into the far corner, then yes, I think so. The keeper was as quick as he could, basically, to get there.
Yeah, I don't think he could do anything more. It's more maybe the wall should have been somewhere else, but yeah. Yeah,
but I mean, overall, it was a good comeback from KR from our perspective. They fought pretty hard there.
Yeah, 60 seconds.
Yeah. I didn't think that the goals were necessarily Breiðablik making so many mistakes. I think KR were just doing what they do, where they're very strong up front.
Yeah, I think it was all just. I remember Gauti's first goal was quite good, then Aron's last goal, and I'm forgetting the middle one. But what was it? Ausbjörn? Yeah, Ausbjörn header.
Yeah,
from a corner. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There was nothing they could have. I mean, there's no mistakes in any of them, I don't think. And I think we should talk about Breiðablik's third as well. That was quite good. That was like little bouncing sort of pinball passes between them, and that ended. I think it was like a volley or something like that, but that was quite good. And I mean, they put 2 people up front, which they normally don't do, but they can now because they bought Thorleifur back. Mm-hmm. So that could be a strategy now. Just go all out attack and.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to feel, like they should have won this game. But it's going to maybe raise them up a little bit, thinking they can do better going forward. But also, it doesn't really matter unless something crazy happens, because they are a full 10 points behind Fram and KR, 18 behind Víkingur. They're 5 points ahead of IA, but like at that point, who cares? Like they're pretty safe in the top half. I mean, they are safe in the top half.
I mean, they play Fram next. Like, if they can follow this up with a good performance against Fram, like beat them 7 points, and they have confidence, and then they'll think, okay, we're just chasing Fram, we can maybe catch them. But what we've seen from Breiðablik this season is that they don't follow these things up. It's kind of a one-off. But I don't know, maybe we'll see. Maybe they can actually, because after that is Stjarnan and KR, which they should be able to win. So they could actually go on a bit of a run here, but this season has shown no indication that they will.
No, and also just I don't know. Just thinking about the players' mentality, it's hard to see why they would put up a huge fight for no gain. There's actually nothing really to be gained there.
No, unless they think third place is achievable, like to get Europe.
Yeah, I mean, then they're going to have to. I think the next couple of games are going to have to determine that. And Fram, I don't know, like KR have such tremendous firepower up front that it keeps them going. But Fram have so much fight that it's hard to see that in a Fram versus Breiðablik with Fram with a 10-point lead and something to maybe play for. It's very hard to put your money on Breiðablik.
No, exactly. I think I'm still very much on Fram. I'm putting my money on Fram. I mean, they can even get second. At this point, they're tied on points with KR.
They can even get first in theory. But speaking of Fram, we can just move on, I guess, to Fram Stjarnan. Stjarnan sacking Jón Þór in the wake of this game. We can just say that right off the bat. I mean, we can discuss whether it's a weird time or not. They come off of 2 wins and then this loss to Fram, which isn't necessarily the worst loss in the world. I mean, the first Fram goal is what I was talking about, where it's just Fram fighting. Maybe the defense is a little bit sleepy, Stjarnan, but you have Kenny there on the wing giving it to Fred, who like brings a pretty hard cross in for the finish. It wasn't so bad from Stjarnan. It was mainly just quite good from Fram, I thought.
Yeah, I think all the goals were just Fram being good. Vuk had a really good game.
Yeah, he had a great little dink to Robert again for the second goal for Fram, and the finish was great. Keeper haters will probably say near post, but it was, the roof of the net type stuff. It was a really good finish. And then, I mean, in the third, I think someone has to pick up Már. I really do. It was like a quick counterattack from Fram. I think it just comes from the keeper to Vuk, who does really well. He sort of feints, like he might shoot or do something, and then he gives the ball to Már, who controls it kind of amazingly. I missed it on the first run through, but it's behind him, and he sort of gets it through his own legs. It's nice. No one's really trying to pick him up. There's a defender there who has a really tough call to make on what he's going to do, and he falls for what Vuk does, but I don't know. I feel like that's the biggest question mark to put by Stjarnan, was like at this point in the game, you have to fight a little bit harder.
Yeah, I think at this point they're in a lot of trouble. I think before this game and before the sacking, I was kind of, like you said, 2 wins in a row. Probably have just enough, because KR and Thor are just so bad. They'd have just enough to, get themselves over the line. But the sacking speaks of something, because there's been no communication from Stjarnan other than Thor has been sacked. No more comments.
It was really brief.
The 2 assistants have come out, and Brynjar and Olgeir have come out and said that to Vísi that they're gonna be in charge for the rest of the season, but there's nothing from Stjarnan. So you're putting your assistants in charge, who have some experience, but mostly in the lower leagues. Like it just speaks. And this is the second manager they've sacked this season. After the first one, there was a lot of noise that the players didn't want Jurgen to be sacked. Like the mood and and around the transfer window, Daniel Finns and others were basically being angling for a move, saying I don't want to be here. Like there's stories now, and it's hard to know what's true and what's not. But there's talk now of people having to be convinced to show up for a game. The mood just sounds so toxic in this club. And
if you have to convince players to show up for games, I don't even know, that just reeks of, maybe that is a reason to get rid of the manager, because that reeks of dreadful management.
Yeah, for sure. But then hiring his assistants
isn't great. No, but because not wanting to show up for games and stuff is such an obvious breach of contract that it shouldn't even be, a discussion. And these players aren't Mbappe level superstars who can pull stuff like this, where they're such an asset that you can behave how you want and expect the club to cave. So I mean, in that sense, it sounds reasonable to get rid of the manager, but then you might want to do something more. I don't know. I mean, we predicted them third. They have a good squad. They're in 8th on 21 points. They're doing mid by all metrics here. They've conceded kind of a lot of goals. If we want to sort of dive into what maybe is the most wrong in terms of their gameplay, they haven't scored that many, but they've scored sort of the same-ish as the teams in around where they are, but they've conceded the most along with Thor. So I don't know.
And they've now switched, at least for now. I don't know, we'll see next game, but Tari Bergman was in goal after. This is a little bit of a strange, I don't know, it's these are people. You have to remember, these are people, not some sort of football robots. But Agnes Knight went to a wedding. I think it was, I don't remember if it was his wedding or someone else's. I assume it's his. I think it was his wedding, but I don't remember right now. A few weeks ago, or for the last game. So he was out for the last game, and Tari stepped in and was quite good. And like you said, I don't think anyone was to blame for any of the goals here. I think that also speaks a little bit. It's a team that, in theory, by that point you're competing for the title in a perfect world, or competing for Europe. So to put an event towards the end of the season is maybe not the best idea.
No.
But, yeah, you're starting to swap out your goalkeepers, and that's always a bit of a warning sign sometimes, I feel like. But yeah, I don't know. This doesn't look great, because it doesn't look like they have a plan. This just looked like, okay, things are bad. We need to get some sort of, because we're playing Thode next, we need some sort of boost. Let's get rid of Bjorn Thode and then figure it out.
Yeah, let's see if they figure it out.
Because the people they were being linked to in the news afterwards was oh yeah, they're going to bring in Heimir, or Runa Páll is going to come back, but they're currently with their clubs in the first division trying to fight promotion. Why would you leave that to go to this Stjarnan team? At least not now.
Yeah, exactly.
You would go maybe in the winter, but you would never quit at a job for Stjarnan or at this point.
No, absolutely not. It's completely pointless, especially if you're doing well. So I don't know. Let's see what they do in the summer. They're not in grave danger.
No,
I don't think. I don't know. I guess it depends. Depends on Emil Atla. If he's willing to score some goals, he can keep them up. Score some goals before he goes to KR, by the way. Perhaps. KR would need more firepower up front. But yeah, not so much to say there. We haven't really talked about their goals. I think they scored their first one. It was kind of bad from just lack of communication and things. But other than that, they were not as good as Fram, and that's just how that is. I don't think they could have expected to win this game regardless. But enough about that. There's one more game, right? IPVF IA.
Yeah. it's hard to know exactly what to say. I mean, IA seem to just now be good, which is fine for them. I think as an IA, like you're not going to make any changes now. You know, you're 5 points behind Breiðablik. Unless you really screw this up, you're probably going to be in the top half, I think. But I think some questions have to be asked why it's taken them this long to get going with this team. But yeah, they're just going to be fine now, and they're going to finish 5th probably, unless Breiðablik completely shut off.
But I mean, I don't think EPFF were so bad in this game. I mean, they only ground out a 2-1 IA. How they didn't score a first goal after how many minutes, like 8 or something, was crazy. They had there was some pinball stuff going on, and there was even a back heel that hit the post or something. So they should have scored a bit earlier, but then Haukur scored a great goal. A really nice sort of individual effort where he just decided to dribble his way through multiple people sort of in the box and then slot it home. Very good. And then Markus Páll comes in with a second, like we talked about before, that Ari really should have saved. Good shot, but should have saved it.
Yeah, for sure. It's so far out. Then he has his hands on it as well, so it's not like he doesn't see it or something. Yeah, it's very strange.
But that's 10 for Markus this season, and he's probably going to, is it Denmark? But they're hoping he finishes the season.
Yeah, there's a lot of interest. There's the Toon, the Viking Slayers. They're being mentioned. There's Sweden. There's Denmark. There's a lot of people. Like he became from Italy to IA, and I think he's shown that he is not someone who's done and who's just ready to be in Akureyri for the rest of his career. So he is definitely going out again. But you know, these Icelandic guys, they go to the Nordic countries. He'll be back in a year. No, I hope he does well. He's a good player. He's been a real, like he is the reason why IA are not in more trouble. Like there is a world where, like, without him they could have been in real trouble before they finally woke up.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said before, I don't necessarily think EPFF were that bad. Their goal was good. It was a great finish by Omar there. It wasn't so bad from IA. I think the defender has 2 men to cover, so he can't really commit, is the thing. I mean, EPFF, we've talked about them a bit throughout the season. We don't really know where we have them either. It's difficult to talk about them as we thinking they're going to go down because of what they look like they can do and what they sometimes do. But they are only 1 point off relegation at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to consider them as relegation candidates, but because they haven't won a game, I think we talked about this last time, they haven't won a game since 4th of July.
America.
Which is a while ago.
It's a while ago.
Where they were on a bit of a run. Like at that point, they beat Keflavík 6-1. Then they went to, beat Thor 4-1, Stjarnan 2-1, drew FO, and then beat Valur. And then they got absolutely hammered by KR the next game, and they haven't really looked back. I mean, then they drew Víkingur, and like you said, I agree with you. They don't look bad, and they have good players, and so I don't see them going down when you compare them to KR and Thor, but they are objectively in the relegation battle.
Yeah,
and they're playing now Keflavík away, Thor home, Stjarnan away. They need to win one of those games for sure. Like if they still haven't won one of those games, then they're in serious trouble.
They won on the 4th of July, and then they won their 2 games that were sort of equally spaced around the 17th of June, which is Icelandic Independence Day. So maybe they just need more Independence Days, sort of more energy like that.
We need to find when's the next Independence Day? Independence Day of any country.
They lost on the 17th of May, which is Norway's Independence Day. I think it is, right? So I think my theory has collapsed.
So, yeah, but they don't have any Norwegian players. But they have Omar Sá, I think he's American, isn't he?
He is now.
He played in America, at least.
Okay.
Raised in New Jersey.
There you go.
So the next upcoming ones is Ukraine on the 24th. Do they have No, I don't have any Ukrainians.
No, I don't think so.
Uruguay, Malaysia, Trinidad and Tobago, Uzbekistan and Vietnam. I don't think they have players in those countries.
Time for some signings.
They need to dig into the market.
Yeah.
Find a Malaysian player stat.
It's worth testing. I mean, this close to relegation, you do what you can.
Yeah, that's true.
Teams have done crazier things.
Probably, yeah.
One other thing we actually didn't talk about is Eiður Smári being brought in as co-manager at Kawa.
Yeah, that's true.
The hype man.
Yeah, I mean, we asked the audience. This was last week or a few days ago at least, before all these changes were made. Will we have more managerial changes? Only 41% he said yes, which I thought was a little bit optimistic or pessimistic, depending how you look at it.
Yeah.
And we asked who, and the only answers we got were for Valur, which is also a pretty decent shout.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody chose. Very few people apparently saw Stjarnan and Kawa coming. Yeah, I guess Saltgrímur is still the manager of Kawa, but this also, I think it's very rare that someone is brought in as co-manager for someone who's in a relegation spot and then doesn't take over.
Yeah, it's really strange. It's even if you mean it well, which is hard to see, then it's difficult to see the manager who's now been relegated to co-manager being happy with this situation and continuing a good job.
Yeah, apparently they did talk to him, and it's all with his blessing, and even like partially his idea or something. I don't know. He said he needed help. And Kawa said they're gonna revisit this at the end of the season. But
the person who publicly agrees to opening the relationship is never going to say that they weren't on board. Regardless of the fact that they're never on board.
Yeah. But yeah, something needs to change at Kawa, so we'll see. This will be very interesting, if nothing else.
Yeah, but I mean, they have something. Like we saw it against Valur. They're clearly capable under the correct circumstances. So let's see if Eiður can light the fire. Maybe that's all they need. Speaking of Eiður, nice. Would you like to start us off with the 3 stars?
Yes, as mentioned earlier, Eiður Orri had a really great game. First goal was absolutely insane, and lifting his team, I think, safely away from relegation. I don't think there's any way they're getting relegated, and potentially playing potentially playing in the top half. So unless they want to go for the President's Cup, but yeah, Eiður Orri deserves his first star.
And then the second star is going to go to Robert Hauksson at Fram. Also 2 goals and just overall great performance. He had that great finish, 2 goals, important stuff. He doesn't always get to start every game, so it's nice to see him really perform. So I think he deserves these 2 stars for sure.
And then for the last one, we're going a little bit different. I mean, there's a lot of people we could have given the 3rd star to. Patrick Pedersen scored 2 goals for the first time, and his first goals in the league for a year. So he definitely deserves a shout out. And there's plenty more, but I was actually the one FF Kawa player I was maybe most impressed with, even though they had Jakob Snær who scored 2 goals, was Ivar Arnbo, the goalkeeper. He's a youngest goalkeeper, replacing Steinþór in the frame after his injury, and very much looking like the long-term solution for Kawa. And we touched on it that none of the goals were his fault, but I think he just saved a point for Kawa. Yeah. Because he made so many amazing saves in that game, and was just the only reason Kawa had any shot of getting a win. And unfortunately, they only got a point, but that was not his fault. I think it was very much his point that they won, and I'm a little bit surprised that he hasn't gotten more praise for that game. But we wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out. Yeah,
I mean, important point, perhaps, because the margins are tight.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Now we must look ahead. Enough of the past. It's time for the future, old man. The games that are coming up, and they are coming up on the 23rd of August, which is in 3 days at the time of recording, probably 2 days or 1 day when you're listening. 23rd, and then one game on the 24th. It's me who's predicting. Oh, and it starts difficult. Stjarnan Thor. Low-key impossible to predict.
Yeah, I don't envy you this one.
Like, what? Okay. Stjarnan Thor. We are going to give it to Stjarnan, weirdly enough. We're going to say it's 2-1 Stjarnan. 2-1 is the cowardly man's guess at a scoreline. And it's going to happen again because Keflavik are going to beat IPVF 2-1. Which I don't feel great about. I kind of want to give it to IPVF.
It could definitely happen. This round is full of could happens, I feel like. Except for 2 games.
I feel it's kind of unfair. I should have done last week. If we're being honest. Keflavik, yeah. Do I really want to... Yeah, I'm committing that way. Kawa Kauer is going to be 3-0 Kauer. Ia FV is going to be 3-1 Ia. And Breiðablik Fram is going to be 2-0 Fram.
And you didn't say...
Is it? Yeah, but I'm still debating my Fram Breiðablik thing. Is it 2-0? It's 3-1 as well to Fram. It's 3-1. I'm only doing 2-1s and 3-1s. And then Kauer gets a pass. Valur Víkingur, this is a game from way back when. Or what?
No, I think they're all around 20.
Why don't I have it in my little round 20 mobile?
Because I think it got moved because of it was on a different day. Maybe
it is here. Yes, it's later. It's in September. That's why it's not here. So there's a round happening, and then this is happening. So it's going to be a late one. So we can't award all my points next week. But
it's happening on Sunday.
Is it?
Yeah, they moved. I don't know this.
Boys and girls, don't trust us on anything. Fair enough.
According to the Cozy website, at least.
Okay, well then let's consider that final. Víkingur Valur is going to be... Oh, do I go brave or not brave? It's going to be 3-1. It's going to be 3-1 Víkingur. The most cowardly of predictions, but I'm sticking to it. Maybe I should say 3-1 for Kawa just to
mess it up. Yeah.
Just to like stake in. No, 3-0 it is. But Kawa don't do nils. They really don't. 3-1 Kawa. No, 3-1 Kauer. 3-1 to Kauer. We're only going 2-1s and 3-1s this week. Yeah. And if I get it totally wrong, it's just because I decided on a theme. I was being brave with the theme. Brave with a cowardly theme. Not as cowardly as Jamie, who wasn't even here.
That's true. It's
not as cowardly as Joe, who doesn't back himself to do so well in his predictions to do it more often. Just comes in for one episode. What?
The easiest round.
Yeah, the easiest round. I should get some of those points, quite frankly. I can retroactively predict that round. Anyway, games, like I said, are the 23rd, 24th. So Sunday, Monday, and then this Víkingur Valur game is whatever Tryggvi said. Stay tuned, and we will see you next week.
Bye.